Hey fam, so today we just got back from Costco's and we did a little bit of bulk shopping. And then when you get in that store, you have all of these plans for how you're going to make these different type of meals, right? But when the time comes for you to actually cook it or use it up, you don't actually follow through with that. Prime example with the spinach. You get this big family size pack of spinach. We in our heads at the store like, oh, I'm about to eat healthy. I'm about to get on my diet. I'm about to get on my ish for this week. So let me go ahead and get this big bag of spinach. So then you in the store and you thinking like all of the different things you can make this spinach with, right? You can make a salad. You can make a smoothie. You can put it in your eggs for an omelet. And the list goes on and on and on. And then you get home, you good for like the first couple of days. You eating your spinach for maybe breakfast, lunch, and even dinner if you're real strict. But then come Wednesday or Thursday, you like, I don't feel like eating no more greens. I don't feel like eating no more salad. I don't want another smoothie. So then you still left with this big bag of spinach right here, right? And you like, oh, what am I about to do? I'm about to let this whole bag go bad because it's perishables. It's fresh. Y'all know these don't last but a second in the refrigerator. So why not go ahead and treat it right up front, and then you won't get yourself in trouble and you won't waste any money because you started out right and separating them into bags, and then boom, there you go. Okay, family size preparation and storage. That's what this video is going to be about today. And then we have a lot of things that we're going to go ahead and show you how we storage up, from seafood. We even have some muffins, vegetables. So let's get to it, y'all. Now, to execute your storage, you are going to need some large gallon sandwich bags and some parchment paper. Also, you're going to need some containers, especially if you meal prep for like the salads. You can just put some chicken or any other toppings that you want in there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that for a little bit of this spinach. And it does have this little Ziploc part on here already to try to keep it fresh. So what you can do is go ahead and take you some spinach. And then, you know, for however many meals you may need it for, that's how many meals you'll go ahead and prep it for. I'm going to just do 2 for right now, just to give you the idea. The great thing about these bags also is that you can write the date and what's in it. Now here we go. We have 3 sections of spinach that you can use for whatever. If you want to use these for salad or just anything during the week, sandwiches, breakfast, you know, little things like that, you can just keep those in these containers. And then here you have your bag of spinach that you can use for smoothies. This you can keep in the freezer as well. And then here you have your dinner spinach. You can just take this out the bag, throw it in the pot, add some seasonings, and then boom, there you go. And then with these bags, they have the little Ziploc part on there. So just try to push it down, get all that air out of it, because that's also going to help preserve the bag as well. And to make sure you minimize space, because we don't have a deep freezer. This is just going into our regular freezer. And just make it flat as possible, you know, when you're packaging it in the freezer, so that way something else can sit on top. Next, we have some sea bass. I'm not going to worry about the sea bass today because it's already vacuum sealed in these little containers. So that is perfect. We're just going to go ahead and put these in the freezer as is. Now, we have some bratwurst. I did show y'all a little clip of our last grocery haul where I showed you how to break down the different bags of sausages and label them and put them in the freezer. But one thing that I didn't show you that I am going to definitely do this time, because if not, all of these will be stuck in your bag, and then when somebody goes in there to try to grab one, you got to leave the whole bag out and let it defrost, and we ain't got time for that this time. So that's where your parchment paper is going to come in at. All right, so what I'm going to do is take this parchment paper and then just cut it in little strips, because the idea is not to have to open up this whole box for one person to want 1 sausage or 2 sausages, and then you have the rest of the box to sit in the refrigerator or having to put the whole thing back in the freezer. So why not just go ahead and put it in the bag, storage it up this way, and then whenever somebody wants one, they can just grab and go. So I already labeled the bag, the date, and what it is. So with our family size, most of the times we can get away with like 2 to 3 sausages at a time, depending on what we're using them for. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and just cover it up like this. And then that way I can just go ahead and put them in a bag. So maybe I'll just do a couple for like 2. You know, the kids is about to go back to school. And that way, when they want a snack in the afternoon, they can just pop these right out the freezer. And then put them in the air fryer, cook them on the stove, whatever you want to do. Alright. And then there you go. Whatever meal you want, you can just go ahead and take the bundle out the bag and then put the rest of them back in the freezer. Now we can move on to this big plank of salmon. If you are having an event or something in that nature, you really have a big family, everyone's eating salmon for that night, then I would suggest you can make this whole thing of salmon. You can stuff it, section it off, put it on the stove, put it in the oven, cook it however you want to. Or in making it into portion size, which is what I'm about to do, and any night of the week or the next following week that you want to go back and get a piece of the salmon, you can separate it and put it in the freezer. And I'm not going to clean it right now. The only thing that we're doing right now is just sectioning it up. Go ahead and take you a nice sharp knife. So for this salmon portion, you can either leave it just like this, or we can do another one and then just cut it in half. So this will be more like the kid size portion, and then these will be more like the adult size portion. Okay, so you get the gist. Just do it how you want to and how your family will eat it. And again, the reason why we're putting the parchment paper on here is so that when we take it out the freezer, they would not be stuck, because you spend all this time trying to proportion it out and then put them in the bag, and then when you're ready to eat them, take them out the freezer, you can't get to it because they all stuck together, and then you're gonna have to take out the whole bag to defrost everything, and that defeats the whole purpose of us trying to do this. Okay. Now these chicken wings are also in their individually wrapped packages, so I don't have to do anything with those. You can just cut them down the middle. So we got 2 packs of those. We have some lamb chops. These are also individually wrapped. I don't have to take these out, but definitely you want to make sure you cut in between the middle, y'all. This is where your skills come from school at, because if you cut this thing anywhere near the chicken, y'all gonna have dang on chicken juice and a whole mess in the refrigerator. So please pay attention. Okay, that is one mess you do not want to have to clean up. Okay, so the next item on the list is some fresh blueberry muffins. Twan had asked for these, and you see these muffins are really big. They didn't have the mini size muffins. If you know your family is not really going to eat all these muffins at one time, you can freeze them, and that's what we're going to do. So you can just cut them in half, just like that. And depending on how big your kids are, you can actually go ahead and cut them one more time, and that way they'll be like really the mini bites. They'll just pop them out after school. They get home, a little afternoon snack. You can take them out the night before if they are in the freezer, or days before, you know, however you want to do it. Now these also was buy one get one free, and then a couple of these we can just keep just like this. And what you can do is do it like this. And then put the other one on the other side, and then boom, there you go. So I'll go ahead and cut out one more, put it in the freezer, and then they'll have 3 right here to go ahead and snack on. And then in the morning, if they want a little snack before school starts, you know, or whatever else they're doing, just go ahead and grab a muffin and be out the door. Now this is something that we normally don't pick up from Costco's, but We wanted some today. We want to be making something good for y'all real soon. But since I'm not going to use them today, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the freezer. So comment down below if y'all put y'all lobsters in the freezer too. You know, them times when you want a nice seafood boil, but you don't feel like making it that day. Look at this nice, big, juicy thing. That's going to be so good. And that's that. A nice, big old, juicy lobster tail that's about to go right in the freezer until we're ready for it. Moving right along, we got some chuck and brisket Angus beef. These burgers look good. Daddy picked these up and they already got pepper and everything on them. Now the good thing with these is they already have the parchment paper on there, so all we have to do is just put these in our bag because it's too bulky to go ahead and put it in the freezer. And then here we have some hash smokes. These are different from those sausages because these are a lot longer, and depending on which one you get, they could be nice and spicy. And on top of that, oh, I didn't even realize these was Ben's Chili Bowls version. If y'all are in the DMV area, go ahead and comment down below if y'all know what Ben's is all about. Or if you want to come to the DC area and never had Ben's, go ahead and comment down below too. Now I can tell you now, the last thing you probably thought about freezing was this big old cheesecake. Although I know the kids could eat this in probably like a few days, especially Emmy, because this is what she asked for. I'm not gonna let them, y'all. This is going to be one of those things where they can enjoy right now and then remember in a few days that they got some left. And this is strawberry on top. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to cut them in individually slices. That is so good. And then also definitely another reason to watch that video is because we show you the perfect methods to cut your cheesecake so that way you get a nice even cut every time. This is our container right here. We probably could fit about 1, 2, 3, 4 healthy sized pieces of cheesecake. Oh, this looks so good, don't it, y'all? That looks so good. Ooh. We're gonna go ahead and put it in our container. Look at this, making a mess already, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going, act like that didn't even happen. I'll make sure I get a spatula next time though.
Oh, spatula.
Look, I'm in here making a mess. But you're gonna take your parchment paper and you're gonna cut a little piece, and then I'm gonna sit it in there slowly. Okay, boom. Look, here come Emmy. She probably about to come steal a piece of this cheesecake now. All right, and then just gonna keep doing this until you got your whole bowl filled up. So I really can fit one more piece of cheesecake in there. And then all you have to do is just put the top on this, put it in the freezer, put it in your deep freezer, and you got some for another day. And then the rest of it, you can put it right back in the refrigerator, and then there you go. All right, fam, so I'm done packing everything into this freezer.
Yes.
Daddy was still confused by what I was doing because, you know, we got to teach these men how to pack up this freezer right.
Ooh.
And bulk. What am I about to say? We got to teach them how to deal with these bulk items. And then, you know, if you have a deep freezer or you don't have a deep freezer, you can use these same principles. And I hope y'all learned something today. If you haven't, watch this video probably about 2 more times.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the hang of it. Even that cheesecake we was able to package
Ooh, that cheesecake was amazing, shawty.
Yeah. So right now it's August. You know, if you strict enough, you probably can have that in your freezer until Thanksgiving. Till
I
Christmas.
don't know about that. Don't nobody want no cheesecake from September.
Go ahead and
Christmas.
comment down below if y'all keep y'all stuff in that freezer for that long.
No, don't.
I'm quite sure.
Comment down below. Do not.
Y'all know how it is. Y'all know what it is.
This ain't 1937.
Oh,
we ain't
goodness.
struggling. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
What you said?
Don't forget, stop. She elbowing me.
Tell them this ain't the 60s. I ain't do nothing.
Ooh. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below.
Boom. See y'all later.
Say it.
How you say it?
Girl,
Bye,
we out of
Paula.
here. We out of here. Bye.
Alright, so we got everything packed in. This was some brisket, but these are the burgers, hot dogs, fish, more back there.